Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Jason Davis, aka Mr. Fortify, and we are back for another episode of the Fortified Life podcast. Today's episode is part of our tools and resources series. Listen, we have guests all types, coaches, speakers, authors, CEOs that talk about how they live out their faith in the marketplace. And last year, if this is your first time listening, we made a decision to, you know what? There are great resources. There's software and tools out there that can help you do business day to day. And I'm very excited because we have a individual on from a service that I absolutely love and have used for a couple of years now. And I've also gotten to know her individually over the last year. But we have Deanna Zubrickas from Relay Bank. She's a product specialist. Deanna, welcome to the Fortified Life.
Hi, Jason. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. Now, Deanna, as we start, now it's called Relay Bank,
Mhm.
but you all are a banking platform. Can you explain to the listeners what exactly that means? Because, like, wait a minute, you're called Relay Bank, but what does it mean to be a banking platform?
Yeah, this is a pretty common question that we get. And a banking platform, you can also call us a neobank. And what a neobank means is we are a tech company built on top of a partner bank. So, Relay, we are 100% virtual, but we have a physical partner bank located in Tennessee. They're called Thread Bank. They've been around for years. They are how we are FDIC insured. They are how we offer, banking capability. But when you sign into your Relay account, like the skin that you see of Relay is Relay the tech company. And I know, Jason, that you've been an avid user for a while. And if anybody listening today has seen the Relay platform or logged in before, you'll kind of start to think, why doesn't my bank look like this? Or buttons are where they should be. It's very intuitive. I see features rolling out that I'd actually use. And that's because we weren't built by a bank. So I know it's a little bit strange to hear off the top, but it really, really works.
I love that, Deanna, where fintech comes together.
Exactly.
Now, Deanna, Relay, give us a history rundown because traditionally the user base was kind of more accountants, and you all have kind of expanded your, I don't want to say your target, but your portfolio, your capabilities, especially over the last 2 to 3 years. So, kind of take us down a trip down memory lane with Relay of where you all were and kind of where Relay is now.
Yeah. So our founders, our co-founders, Yusuf and Paul, they launched Relay officially in 2018, and their background was working in payments, in accounting, with small businesses, and with accountants and bookkeepers. And through that community, they noticed this big gap in the market, especially with banking. And so they thought, how can we take a hold of this ourselves? How can we make accessible banking, virtual banking for people, but also really tie in that advisor client relationship? Because if you own a business and you have a bookkeeper, odds are you're kind of talking to them every single week, getting them information. The communication is all over the place, and it's usually all stemming from your bank. So they saw the hole in the market there, and they wanted to create something to solve that, but also to provide accessible banking and really fill the holes that other banks aren't in terms of technology. So in thinking integrations or visibility overall in your bank account, easy payments. So that's how Relay kind of started. And we started to build really strong relationships in the accounting and bookkeeping community because, who has more knowledge about their clients' financials or understanding of what else is out there in the banking world other than accountants and bookkeepers. So we focused on that for a while. And then for the past year and a half, I'd say we've been diving into other specific industries. So small business related, like real estate, trades businesses, home improvement, salons, you name it, we're diving in idea here at Relay. And most businesses have an overlap in the challenges that they deal with at their local bank, right? It's either cost related because banking can get quite expensive. It's technology related, right? Because things don't work the way they should or don't connect to the rest of your tech stack, or it's access related. So sometimes you're the business owner that has the only access to the bank account and you have to share multiple debit cards, share your password, your bookkeeper can't get access. all this crazy stuff. So usually any business owner in any type of industry will have an overlap in those three problems, if not all three. And so that's where we're making a name for Relay and trying to look at any type of business.
I love it, Deanna. I love it. Now, Deanna, over the last year and a half or so, you all have, there's been two pretty significant announcements that you all have made. Can you talk about the partner program? And then also, and let me caveat the second one for those of you who may not know who Mike Michalowicz is and his book, Profit First. And then following that system, I follow Profit First as well with the way I bank with my accounts. I use that setup and I use Relay Bank. But talk about Relay becoming the official partner, Profit First partner. So, partner program, partnership with Profit First. Talk about those two significant events.
Yeah, so I'll start with Profit First. And for anybody that hasn't heard of it before, or maybe is unfamiliar, the idea of Profit First is the cash flow methodology, but it's also a mindset. So basically, you have five separate accounts in your business, and you're earmarking funds for different areas of the business. And that's how you're really running your business and making cuts based on that. Jason, would you agree with that definition? Anything you'd add there?
Oh, I love it. It literally, it's perfect. Simplicity,
Yeah.
simple cash flow.
Exactly. Cash flow is the name of the game. And when people want to start Profit First, usually they'll walk into their local bank and say, I need five accounts. Usually the teller will kind of look at them like they're a little crazy or like they've got three heads or something, right? And that first roadblock appears right there. So a lot of people might drop off or might end up opening those accounts, but then they're probably paying, $5, $10 per account just to start running this method. And it's a huge roadblock to get people started in this method. So when Profit First and Relay kind of found each other over the last few years, that has been functionality that Relay has had since day one. Any type of business can come onto Relay and have up to 20 accounts. You can open them in the middle of the night if you really wanted. You can create those checking and savings accounts, name them whenever you'd like. So it's that core functionality that businesses are looking for when you want to start running Profit First or something similar to it. So we've just always kind of gelled that way. And last February 2023, we signed a contract. It was official in April, and we became the official banking platform of Profit First, which is incredible. So we just make it easy for you to set that up. But then since then, we've also released features specifically tied to the Profit First method. So you can run automatic transfers by percentage between those accounts. We've got savings accounts tied to it. It's really, really exciting. And if you are somebody that banks with Relay now or you're looking to and you're wanting to combine it with a Profit First, we're always open to product feedback. Jason, I don't know if you've sent in feedback in the last few years you've been on Relay, but that's really how we decide what else to roll out. So
Mhm.
pretty cool. Now, beyond Profit First, we want to talk a little bit about the partner program. So that's designed for accountants and bookkeepers, financial coaches specifically. And the idea there is if you refer Relay, we'll pay you an incentive. So your incentive is already to get a really great relationship with your client and you on Relay because you're getting all the information you need and your communication is so much better. Your tools work all together, but we'll also pay you a flat fee every time you bring on a client. So it's pretty exciting to get paid for something you were likely going to do anyways.
Very exciting, Deanna. I want to come back and highlight because, folks, if you were not, you need to make sure you're picking up what Deanna's putting down. Automation of your finances as a business owner. I can speak from experience with this. And so, Deanna, I feel like that it wasn't, if people aren't careful,
We'll stick on
it might have just gone. It's like, do
that.
you understand the maths? What I love about where innovation, where fintech meets banking is you have, and we'll have a profit first guide on the show here in the future. So we'll go into more detail about profit first, but imagine all of the income, whatever your income account is, where your funds get deposited, and imagine having other accounts earmarked for a different purpose, but the math running in the background, calculating for you, and then being able to distribute funds on a specific day and a specific amount or percentage. It's huge. You don't have to worry about it. It makes it provides peace of mind. So I didn't want them to miss the end. It's like, wait a minute. It's like, hold on. I had never heard of a bank
Yeah.
that did that on that level. And so it was a game changer, folks. I'm telling you. Deanna, I remember the first time when I had switched over. We'll talk about change management in a little bit, but I remember when the deposits came in and then the automated job ran and I picked a Friday. And then to wake up the next morning and go, oh my gosh, it did the
It
percentage.
happened.
Oh, so I'm telling you, business owners,
Yeah.
or on the other side, if you're a coach or an accountant, a bookkeeper, I'm
Mhm.
telling you, it's huge. It's a way for you to serve your customers better if you're kind of the financial coach, bookkeeper, um, accountant. Or
Yeah.
on the other side, if you're just looking for a better way to get a handle on
Mhm.
your finances, Mike Michalowicz, he talks about this, Deanna. Like I'm holding up my phone right now. Um, bank balance accounting. Most business
Yeah.
owners, if they want to know what's going on in their business, they don't know. I'm not saying you shouldn't look at your statement of cash flow, your balance sheet, but Deanna, let's be honest, most people are doing this to know how much.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
kind of scary, right? Because you're looking in and you have one checking account and it's one lump sum. And
Mhm.
immediately you're supposed to know what you owe, what you're owed, how much money do I have to make this purchase? And it's really hard to make smart financial decisions based on that one account alone, right?
Absolutely. Very difficult. And Relay Bank makes it so much easier. Now,
Yeah.
Deanna, you mentioned up to 20 accounts. So, folks, listen, if you've got, I don't know, a pet account as a business owner, you could do that. But let me put the business hat on for a second, Deanna. So let's say, let's talk like retirement. Let's say you're earmarking distribution for employees, or like some sort of profit sharing program. Imagine being able to, okay, you have maybe the core five accounts like Profit First, but then you realize over time that I need some other account types. The fact that you have flexibility up to 20, that's huge, Deanna.
I like to call
Huge.
it customizable banking. And
Yeah.
that's not usually a word that you hear associated with a financial institution, right? So you can go in there and create those accounts whenever you want, delete the accounts whenever you want, rename them, reorder them, adjust what percentage is being sent over. And I think a really easy way to describe how you would start using this, if you've been a business owner that's only used one account your entire business life, and you're hearing Profit First and you're thinking, okay, five accounts seems a bit much. I don't want to dive into the deep end. A simple place to start is starting with a tax account, right? Every business has to pay taxes every single year, maybe multiple times a year. And so you can open a tax account and you can have it automated. So you're setting maybe 25% of every weekly deposits that are coming in are going to taxes. And you're just starting with that one automated step is going to change your entire year around making those payments. But that's like a really simple area to start.
Absolutely. Now, Dina, we were just talking about checking accounts. You all added, again, folks, based on feedback. And let me say this, Deanna, not just sending in feedback, you all do a great job with webinars on educating. Um, Customers on how to better use Relay. I love that. But one of the things you all implemented with feedback was savings accounts. So talk about the flexibility, not just with checking, but you all adding savings accounts to the picture.
Yes. So each business on Relay included in your 20 accounts, you can have two savings accounts and they are interest earning. You can earn 1 to 3% depending on how much you're keeping in those accounts. But a really cool feature about the accounts is we try to kind of protect you from yourself with these accounts. And Jason, I know we were talking about this earlier, how you like to use them. And the idea with the savings accounts at Relay is you can't have a debit card connected to it, you cannot make a payment from it, and you cannot have an external account connected to the savings. So the only way you can get money in or out of that savings account in Relay is by transferring it to a checking. And we understand there's probably a lot of business owners that are listening today, or even just a lot of relay users that maybe are saving for the very first time in their business or who have never had that opportunity to before. So when you're pairing that savings accounts with those kind of guardrails on it, along with the automation, we're trying to help you set yourself up for success, right? So if you're just getting started with that tax payment, we want to make it a little challenging for you to pull that back out just in case you're like, no, I'm going to use it on something else. I'm going to buy equipment, or, we can think of many different reasons why you would do that. But we've designed it to really help kind of protect the business owner and their new goal for savings.
Absolutely. Deanna, we've been kind of teasing this as we've been going along. Let's talk features for a second. So we have Relay and Relay Pro. We already talked about the 20 individual checking accounts, but fill out the rest of the value for business owners for Relay. And then on the other side, if you want a little bit more advanced features, Relay Pro.
Yeah, exactly. So the core services of Relay are free. So whether that's opening up your 20 checking accounts, connecting to your accounting software, making basic payments. So we do next day ACH and check payments for free. You can add anybody to your bank account that you'd like. You can have up to 50 debit cards. You've got full control. So most businesses are really perfect for the basic version. But if you have a lot of outgoing payments, or you like really fast payments, you do a lot of wires, that's where I would suggest looking into Relay Pro. So Relay Pro comes along with everything in the basic version of Relay, but you also get an accounts payable system. So if you're connected to your accounting software like QuickBooks Online or Xero, and you have unpaid bills sitting in there, they will automatically sync into your Relay account. So you're making payments directly in Relay. That's syncing back and forth to your accounting system, which is definitely what you want for your business. You can set up approvals on those payments, which is really great. So if you're trying to share responsibility in your business, step away from more of the day to day, that's really great. But it also comes along with unlimited same day ACH payments and unlimited wires. And so Pro is $30 monthly for businesses to subscribe. And that's what's kind of included there. So if you're looking for an accounts payable process, or you're looking for fast ACH and wires, that's your option. It's really, really great.
Very cool. And Deanna, you said this when talking about the features, but folks, integration with
Mhm.
QuickBooks and Xero. So talk a little bit more about the power of that integration right there in the platform.
Yeah, it was really important for us when creating Relay to have direct integrations with the two biggest softwares out there in accounting, QuickBooks Online and Xero. And usually local banks will use a third party to connect to your accounting software. So it goes from the bank through a third party to your accounting software. And you'll often notice, and Jason, I can see you smiling, you can probably think about all the times you've had to disconnect your bank feed or re-enter your
Oh,
password, or
geez.
your bookkeeper or accountant is like, hey, Jason, your bank feed disconnected again. I'm going to need your password. And all of basically from there, the data then gets messy. So you're duplicating transactions, things are confusing, and it's just a lot more work for everybody involved. So when creating Relay, we knew we wanted to have that direct integration. So your information comes directly from Relay into your accounting software. So it's a direct one way, and that information is feeding back live. So you're never having to reconnect. The transactions aren't messy, and there's less friction in the central nervous system of your bank or of your business, which is your bank at the end of the day, right? So it's all connected, and the information is flowing just as it should be.
Mm, absolutely. Look, folks, I'm nerding out over here with it because I'm just a big it solved major pain point, and our hope in listening to this episode, I hope that you all will see how Relay helps you do business. And Deanna, you talked about with accountants and bookkeepers, kind of on the partner program side, the ability to, from a security standpoint, if you are working with clients,
Mhm.
um, the permissions set that's available to for you to be able to work with financial professionals. So talk about the security aspect for us, Deanna.
Yeah, security is very, very important to Relay, especially being a virtual platform. So there's a few different aspects I'd like to mention. First is every Relay account is covered by FDIC insurance, and that's up to $3 million. So you're fully insured when you're with Relay. So anybody that typically is holding a really high bank balance, you got to have that insured. So come on over, we'll store it for you. But also on all of our debit cards, they're partnered with Visa, and we have their zero liability insurance policy. So you can dispute absolutely any transaction and get the funds back and can do that immediately. But then we also have mandatory 2FA for every single user on Relay and role-based permission. So think about your bookkeeper, maybe your CFO, your accountant, people you've hired to help run your business. You can give them read-only access, you can give them bill paying access, but also all the way up to full access. So if you need them to come in there and send payments for you, manage employees, whatever the case may be, you can let them do that without sharing your personal password, which unfortunately is what a lot of us have to do most of the time, right? To make that happen. But not even just at the bookkeeper or accountant level, we also provide these permission levels for your employees. So we know that there's a lot of one person operations out there, but there's a lot of employer businesses out there too, right? You might want to give somebody a debit card or give the ability to deposit a check or give your manager more access. So you're always in charge of that as a business owner on Relay. You can set people up, remove them, change access at any time, because in Relay's world, there is no sharing password. You all get your own, which is really great.
Folks, are you ready to switch yet?
Are you nerding out with us yet or what?
Yeah, right. And speaking of switching, Deanna, one thing Relay does an awesome job with is providing resources and education. Because by now, Deanna, they're like, oh my God, I want to do this, but where
Yeah.
do I start? So talk about how Relay supports um, customers in the process of migrating their accounts over from their old bank.
Yeah, and I agree, Jason. I'm sure everybody listening is like, okay, where's the link? How do I sign up? I want to do this ASAP. And or if you've ever seen the Relay platform, you'll feel the same way. And that tiny voice in the back of your head is like, okay, what about the switch? How do I make this happen? And so we've thought about that too. So we created a bank switching checklist. So as soon as you're approved on Relay, we've got 7 steps for you to go through. And examples of the steps would be setting up your Profit First accounts, all 5 in one click, which is pretty great. Connecting to your local bank, creating debit cards, sending out your new payment information. And the idea here is to set you up for success in using your new Relay account, to show you how to use it where these features belong. But one really, really cool step about this is once you've connected Relay to your local bank account, which, by the way, we connect to 100% of US banks, we will be able to pull a list for you of recurring transactions. So any auto payments, auto withdrawals, anything you've had, payroll running out of your other account, we'll pull a list so you know exactly where you need to go and update all of your new banking information for, to make sure that it's a smooth transition. Because that's the last thing you want to be worried about. You're excited about moving over to Relay. We got to make this happen. So if you follow that checklist, you're going to be good to go.
Very simple checklist to follow, folks. I used it myself, so it definitely makes it a lot easier. So you don't have to listen to that voice in the back of your head. There is a simple way
Exactly.
to start with Relay Bank. All
We're
right,
trying to
Deanna,
save
we've talked about,
everything.
yes, exactly. We've talked about the past, we've talked
Mhm.
about the present. Let's talk about the future. I don't want to get you in trouble, but can you talk about
What can I say?
right? What that you're able to shine the light on? What are some upcoming features or things that Relay is looking at implementing in the future?
So something that is definitely not top secret, but is not officially launched yet, is Relay has a credit card coming out very, very soon.
Ooh.
Yes, yes. This has been a long time coming. I've been at Relay for 3 years now. And I think on day one of me being here, it was like, okay, so when are we getting a credit card? When are we getting a credit card? So we're very, very excited about launching this. And so is our customer base. So that'll be launching probably in the next 2 or 3 months. And we're very excited. We have it set up so it's going to draw directly from your Relay checking account. So it's paid off within 30 days. You won't have to carry a balance on it. So it'll be automated, which is really nice. And it is going to be going to have cash back rewards. So you'll be able to see that tally up in your bank account, which is great. And you'll be able to have multiple. You'll be able to set up category and vendor controls, or also block them. So if, like, let's say you're a trucking business and you want to create a credit card just for a gas, you can easily set that up and it'll be restricted just for gas purchases. So we're very, very excited for that to roll out. So that'll be the next big thing you see coming from us.
I love it, folks. I always tell you on the Fortified Life, new things and upcoming things get introduced all the time. Deanna, thank you so much for shining light on that. I know you're like, oh, I can only say but so much. Deanna, you reminded me of one other feature, very subtle but powerful. If you are an existing Relay Bank user, and this is kind of, we live in this world with multiple streams of income. People own different businesses. So talk about the ability to have different logins. If you have, maybe you have a business owner that either wears multiple hats or they're involved in multiple businesses.
Yeah, I love talking about this. So I mentioned earlier how we were kind of diving deeper into the real estate industry, and this is a perfect example for that. So often you'll have somebody that owns multiple properties. Maybe they've got five different entities out there. You can set it up so you will log in once, but have access to five separate entities. So you basically get a dashboard, very similar to working with QuickBooks or Zero, and you can go into the individual accounts. You can transfer funds in between them if you'd like. The idea is one login, five separate entities. But same thing if they're not entities that you own, but maybe you're a bookkeeper and you've got access to multiple, or you're a manager and you have access to multiple. The idea is to cut down on that signing in and out and having things all in one central dashboard for you.
Mm. And folks, I'm telling you, there's more reasons to say like you have to find a reason to say no. Really, there's too many reasons to say yes. Before we close, Deanna, you've got to be at a place like Relay Bank and look at all the innovation. What's one thing that you enjoy day to day at working at an organization like that?
One of my favorite things is talking to customers. At this point,
Mm.
there has been customers that I've worked with for 3 years now, and seeing how using Relay has impacted their business or impacted their client's business, just making the most simple tasks even simpler. That you're not usually used to that with your local bank, right? Usually everything is a struggle. So being able to give people time back or give people more financial visibility, it's been incredible to watch people grow their businesses alongside Relay. And yeah, I just love that we're alongside for the ride. So that's been my favorite part for sure.
Love it, love it. Well, folks, we that's all we have time for today. We've got to let Deanna go back and continue taking over the business world with Relay, and she does the roadshow thing all the time. But Deanna, where can people? And we'll have a link, by the way, where you all can sign up for Relay. But in general, where can people go to find out more about Relay Bank, Deanna?
Yes. So we'll have a link that you can sign up with this podcast. You can start signing up for your account. It will take you about 10 minutes. And again, it's all virtual. So it's super easy. But you can head directly to our website. It's relayfi.com. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at Bank with Relay. We're on LinkedIn. We're everywhere. Come and find us. We're also at trade shows throughout the summer, both accounting conferences and small business conferences. So come if you see Relay at a conference you're at, come say hi. We'd love to meet you.
Love it, love it. Deanna, I've had so much fun on this episode. Listeners, I'm telling you, I don't say it just because of, oh, they're just a cool platform. I don't know anything about them. I'm talking as a user. When I say automated finances, peace of mind, you know where you stand, and you can build other systems off of what you do because you know your cash flow. It was a no-brainer, and it has made my life so much easier using Relay Bank. So, Deanna, just thank you so much for hanging out with us a little bit and giving us a snapshot of the past, present, and future on Relay Bank.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me, Jason. And for anybody listening today and you're thinking about using Relay or possibly using Relay, just think, I know most people in the audience probably didn't get into business because they love the financials or because they're really great at financials. You're probably great at the other things that you do. So why not implement a tool like Relay to help support you in that? So yeah, thank you so much for having me today, Jason. It's been awesome.
For sure. Folks, that was a mic drop. I don't have anything else to add after that. The one thing I will do is I will end it the way we normally end things, and that's don't compartmentalize your faith in the marketplace. And from the boardroom to the bathroom, God is with you. This has been a tools and resources episode on the Fortified Life podcast. We'll see you next time.